Welcome. Hello. So good to see you here. All welcome to 2021. Happy New Year to all of you. I'm so glad that you are here. As always with those sessions, I will give you a minute or two to settle down, say your hellos, and introduce yourself and say hi to fellow meditators. This is super important to set the stage for what we are about to create together. So please take your time. There's a question for you, and I'd like to hear what do you think about what is your intention for this session. Francesca said to trust more. Beautiful intention. Hello, Karen. I'm just gonna sift through comments. Deborah says freedom from fear. That's a very, very good intention. We're gonna talk about fear during this session. Mel says to have some intentions. That is true. Actually, you may find this session very interesting. If you don't have any intentions yet, you may find this session very interesting. Hello, Caroline. So good to see you here. Caroline says her intention is to reconnect with friends. A very fantastic intention. I hope you consider this as a space to connect with friends, or at least like-minded people that meditate together here. Julie says, my intention is to try difficult things. Excellent. Naomi says, to understand how to get out of my way. Beautiful. Another wonderful intention. Michelle says, my intention is to live a healthier life. And hello from Rome. Hello, Michelle. Oh, Rome, New York, by the way. Not Rome, Italy. Karen wants to stay positive. Tressa, to find ways to curb my enthusiasm for too many things at once so that I can really focus on the key desired intentions. Beautiful. Wonderful. All right, so I think we can get started with the session. And right at the beginning, I want to thank you for your generous support and for being here, for all your messages, your comments, your donations. All those help me tremendously to communicate my teachings and spread the message. So thank you for your time and presence. And I truly believe that together we are making a difference during those sessions, both personally and collectively. One technical trick, if you will, for those of you who are not familiar with Insight Timer Live. If you are watching this session on your phone, you can flip it from vertical to horizontal, so you can see me full screen and connect with the comments. Hello, Frank. Greetings. Frank and Christina here. Wonderful. I'm so happy to see you here. So, topic for today is about setting intentions, and this is very important at the beginning of the new year, because somehow, some way, we always come with this fresh energy and hopes once the date is turned. Although at the beginning you must understand that this is mostly mental concept, as changing date does not really changes anything for you. But yet, since we are emotional beings, we may as well to use this concept to move forward, to grow, to expand, and ultimately live more fulfilled lives, because that's why we're here. So now, why is that, as the description of this event says, most New Year's resolutions fail by the end of January? That's an inconvenient truth. If you type this in Google, you'll find all the right answers, and you may even get excited. But having a roadmap and knowing all the bumps on the road doesn't make you to avoid them. So the need for New Year's resolutions usually comes from some sort of lack, and most common lacks are lack of money, lack of relationships, lack of career, or wanting a better career. So when you go to a life coach or a mentor, it is likely that you will hear what is wrong with you and a million ways how to fix you. And he or she may even be successful in changing your circumstances temporarily, uh, getting you more money, fixing you with a new partner, finding a better job. But one flaw in this approach, it is that it relies on the assumption that your success in achieving something equals happiness and fulfillment. And as we all know, including myself, this is very true for a very short period of time. But as soon as we achieve something, as soon as we have that peak experience, so to speak, and we out of it, everything comes back to where it was. So if we were unhappy and miserable prior to that, it is very likely that after we achieve, get better job, connect with new partner, change our careers, get a promotion, we very quickly settle down to our old ways, because what doesn't change is us. So in social media abuses this concept of the, I call it a flawed happiness. And social media makes you believe that as soon as you going through the news feed or flipping to the left, flipping to the right, up and down, as long as you do it, you are in the state of happiness. But this is obviously not true. What happens is actually your dopamine level increases and you feel as if you are happy. And the reason I'm saying that is that the moment that you actually stop doing those things, whether it's going through your news feed or flipping through pictures, you come back to the state where you were and you are disappointed. You are back to where you were. So that is why before we all sit to setting our intentions, New Year's resolution and goals, we must let go of the payoff. And this is something that David Hawkins talks about in his book, Letting Go. Our attachment to the outcome, to the goal, and how we connect it with the happiness is usually the most important reason for our unhappiness. So, although the session is called Setting Intentions, I'd like you for a moment to keep that in mind, that setting intentions is absolutely okay by clinging to the outcome of that intention is something that will make you stop what you're doing by the end of January, which is not so far away. So David Hawkins, in his book Letting Go, talks extensively about how we are wrapped in the constructs of our ego and constantly serving narcissistic self that never can be satisfied. And as long as we acting out of the conditioned ego, we are missing the point. And there's no amount of money, no position, no relationship that can change that. And the reason for most of the meditations is to, even momentarily, to get yourself out of this construct, this narcissistic ego that constantly drives our behavior. And if your intention, however noble, is set from that space of ego, it is likely that you will struggle fulfilling it, and you will struggle, most importantly, to feel happy and feel fulfilled as you go along the way. So you may ask me, okay, if setting intentions is flawed, what is it I'm suggesting? So before you start setting goals and once again tidying them up, start taking them up with your happiness, I'd like to invite you to look at a concept introduced by A.H. Almaas, which is a pen name of Hamid Ali, the creator of Diamond Approach, which is a wonderful spiritual framework for conscious human development. And he talks about the concept of essence. And essence perfectly fits in right now in our topic and how we look into ourselves at the beginning of the year. And this is also my intention behind this session, to show you how to connect with the essence, which I'll describe in a second. So the essence that, as taught by A.H. Almaas, is described as unconditioned, untouched part of human nature that is beyond ego and beyond social constructs. In meditation, all as you are here, you are meditators, and you may have stumbled upon it during some of your meditations and without even realizing it. So we experience essence as a moment of clarity and certainty, and they usually are very brief. But when we experience them, we know that we are there. So my words cannot really describe it. Doesn't matter how hard I try. However, when you experience the essence, there's no doubt that you are there. And this is very important thing to know, that we talk about experience of essence. Essence cannot be really described. And it may change from person to person because essence has different aspects. So the goal of meditation that we will do after this introductory talk and after I answer your questions is to recognize the essence through the veil of personality structures. So the ego, the narcissistic self that we are so strongly cling to, is something that we try to look at. And I also want to mention that essence is not something very esoteric, as in unachievable. Essence, as a matter of fact, is our basic nature, and it's always present. However, the realization and accessibility of it is not. And that's why so many of us, we sit to meditation. We are instinctively seeking something that we cannot really describe, but is always there. And the concept of essence, that's why it's so important. And my intention is to bring you closer to it, or get glimpses to it, so you can get started with that. So to describe, and I will connect the concept of essence with intention setting for the new year. But I want to give you an example of how I connected with the essence and what it really means to connect with the essence. During one of the retreats, I was reading Tara Brach's book, and that inspired me to kind of drop deep and meditate. And at some point, after 30 or so minutes, I started experiencing a back pain. However, this time, my experience of something that normally it's very unpleasant was very different. I was able to sit and enjoy the experience of the back pain without necessarily being attached to the usual resistance that comes from ego structures. And that experience was quite extraordinary, and I keep coming to it and asking myself, what was different between that state when I experienced the back pain as compared to other times when I experience my aches and pain and I cannot stand them? And I believe the answer to it is the essence. My state of being was very different as compared to the normal circumstances where I'm wrapped up with the egoistic structures. So, and I think about it that this may be a reason why a lot of those people that we consider enlightened are letting go of so many things, because they realize that to live a fulfilled life is not about the amount of stuff you have, the things that you achieve, and the career you have, but it's actually much simpler. And it is about being in essence, or being connected with the true nature of yourself. And now, how does it relate to intention setting for goal setting and New Year's resolutions? When we are in the state of, when we are wrapped up in those social constructs and ego structures, whichever intention we set, it is going to be very difficult to fulfill them, because we relate the outcome and the success of that goal, that intention, that resolution, related to our happiness. And we know that ego can never be satisfied. So what I'm suggesting is, by connecting with the essence, you all of a sudden may experience everything and have that fulfillment and have that sense of being, without actually achieving anything. And imagine that this is a wonderful space to actually move forward, because you achieved what the New Year's resolutions, intentions, and goals already, through the perspective of your ego structures, that was already there. And moving from that point onward is very different. The quality of it is very different. You are already there. So my suggestion is, before you start setting goals and intentions, sit with yourself, as we are going to do here together, and try to connect with something that is inside of you. You may call it essence. I sometimes call it your true self. But the words, again, cannot describe it. Only the experience of it is important. And once you're there, ask yourself, what else is there that you need? And what you may find is that everything that you already do is sufficient. And you do not need extra goals, extra effort to go anywhere, because you're already there. If in that stage you still have a desire to do this, go somewhere, to become someone, that's fine. But what is different is that the place that intention flows from, it's much purer than the usual egoistic, narcissistic needs that, once again, can never be satisfied. So obviously, every teaching I provide, I try to make it very practical. And many of you may ask yourself, well, this is very idealistic, right? But we have bills to pay, we have aches and pains and everything. And is it really possible to live from that space at all times? And my answer to it is, well, perhaps not. But my objective and my intention is to reconnect with essence as often as I can. So my life is being lived through the perspective of fulfillment and being already here. And that's why Eckhart Tolle talks about power of now. He talks essentially he talks about being yourself at all times. So the way it works in my personal life, it has been working for quite some time, is particularly every time I feel that something is not correct, is not right, I feel depressed, angry, I feel those emotions that drags me down towards this egoistic structure, I stop, doesn't matter at what part of the day, and ask myself, am I really acting out of the essence? Or which place, what space am I acting from? And it is important, obviously, to meditate and have the experience of essence. But this is as important for all of us to, on moment-to-moment basis, check in with yourself and ask yourself the simple question: are you really, truly yourself right now? Are you connected with the essence? And if this is so, you will experience in this very moment fulfillment, joy, happiness, without doing any particular thing. How does it sound? Do you guys have any questions right now about the essence and everything I said before we start the meditation? Isabella asks, how would you know what is your essence? Like I said, the sense of essence is the experience. And once you're there, I cannot tell you what it is. But once you're there, once you have those moments of clarity, whether it's through meditation or through the events in your life, there's no doubt that that's what it is. That's the thing. That's why rather than talking about it, I'd like to guide you through a meditation that will attempt of taking you there to dismantle the structures that we normally so cling to, and have the experience of the true self that lies underneath those constructs. So again, you know it once you're there. That's my answer to your question. Yeah, let me check if there are any other questions right now. Sarah asks, is that what you call a wobble? That's a very good question. Perhaps. Wobble, it sounds like English is not my first language, so I do not understand the concept of wobble. But intuitively, I say yes, absolutely. But again, words are not as important as actually as the experience itself, and that's what we try to find. Caroline, thank you very much. Caroline says, I found your words really profound, and I'm encouraged to go deeper within. And I think Caroline hits the nail on the head. In these practices and in my teachings, I always invite you to find it out for yourself and go deeper within yourself, rather than talking about it and get excited. Excitement usually comes from the ego. And the experience of essence is more of a calm and clear state. And essence is not just one thing, it has many different qualities. But that's something that you are invited to discover on your own. Isabella says, I tried new moon meditation, I couldn't reach the clarity. This is a process that I invite you to, that does not guarantee any immediate results. Something that I already mentioned during this introduction is that we are attached to the instant gratification. We want to do something, want to pay money for something and see, okay, this must be work. But you must understand this is a process. If your entire life, if you spend your entire life being surrounded by the social constructs and acting out of ego, all of a sudden your desire to connect with the essence may not give you instantaneous results. That's not how it works. However, if we have a need, and so many people listen to my stress and anxiety meditations, and I believe that comes from the human nature, that's not our state and we want to get out of it. But this is not the end of it. The stress, anxiety, and all those negative emotions that I experience that come and that create the suffering, they are not the end of the road. We have to go beyond that. And in my teachings, I invite you to do just that. Chloe, am I asking something random? In a lot of your meditation, you say, drop your shoulders from your ears. Is that an expression? Yeah, so when your body is a wonderful diagnostic tool to check with your feelings, to check how you feel. So depends on your state of being. It depends how you feel. Your body takes different postures. If you're stressed, if you tense, we tend to do this. We tend to do this. You lift your shoulders and you tense up. So I'm always asking to drop your shoulders away from your ears. You see my ears? I'm dropping shoulders. And that gives the signal to your body that everything's all right and everything is okay. So that's what I mean by that. Okay. Thanks, Chloe. Okay, guys. So now from the talk to the practice. Anyway, if you have more questions, I will talk about the circle I created for you where the discussion can continue. But right now, I want to invite you to meditate with me and to experience for yourself how this works, how the essence works in practice. And I truly believe that if the intention, if so many of us, it's 255 of us right now here in this meditation, if we all set the intention to experience essence, we certainly will do so. Okay. So in this meditation, I invite you we will simply observe what there is. We start with a bit of relaxation. That is always necessary to go under the physicality, under the surface of the physical body. And we'll be waiting for the essence to arise. For those of you who listen to my meditations, you know that a lot of those things that are undesirable, the only way to deal with those things is to bring awareness to them and start observing them as they are. And this is the only way to dissolve the ego structures, is to bring awareness to it. One thing that ego cannot stand, and I'm sure you've heard that, is awareness. And being in the present moment with whatever there is, even if your ego considers it unpleasant. As I said, once you connect with essence, there's not a single experience that you will find enlightening. Everything will be an enjoyable and fulfilling experience once you're acting out of the essence. But before that happens, you must recognize the ego structures and everything that there is, and the only way to do it is by observing them. So let's do it together. So as Chloe said, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Sit in a position that is comfortable for you. I always suggest to sit with your back straight in the way that allows you to breathe freely. The flow of your breath up and down. We'll be working with your breath, which is something that's always there. You rest your feet on the floor, your hands in your lap. Whether you're sitting or lying down, it doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and keeps you alert during this meditation. However you feel, wherever you are, this is a perfect place to start this meditation. Allow your eyes to close. And right here at the beginning, set the intention to connect with the essence. Even though you may not understand what the essence is. Personally and collectively. set your direction to go there. And along the way, you will recognize everything that there is, because there's no other way. You cannot avoid the works of ego, because this is part of our psychological, mental structure. So the easy way to get under the surface of physicality and any aches, pains, any tension is to take a couple of deeper breaths. We know that taking a deep breath through your nose and exhaling through your mouth will help to release some of the tension and relax the sympathetic part of your central nervous system that holds you hostage sometimes in that tension. So let's do it together right now. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Dropping your shoulders. In and out. Releasing and letting go. In and out. And breathe normally. And as the first step, I'll invite you to check in with yourself. Where you are, how you feel. What is your experience of this very moment right now? Are you safe, secure, and protected? Is there anything that you need right now to be yourself? If there is still tension and the discomfort, use it as an anchor for your experience. And bring your full awareness and attention to whatever your awareness is drawn to. But if you may, I invite you to do it kindly. Do it as if you are a gentle and kind presence that connects with the immediate experience of what there is. And what you will notice very soon is that there may be emotions or thoughts coming your way. You may be thinking about what's going to happen afterwards, or you may be thinking about how to experience essence. And that's all natural and normal, because that's what we do for most of the time. We use our intellect, we connected with the egoistic structures. But as I said, the only way to deal with it and to go under the surface is to recognize for what they are and bring your presence to it. Gently and kindly, without any judgment, knowing that under the surface of all this construct, you are loved and you are enough. Dropping slowly, deeper and deeper, observing everything that comes your way. Imagining that you are surrounded by friends that understand all the pain and all the suffering. And we are all connected through the same intention of happy, fulfilled life, being ourselves at every moment. And this is not just an imaginary concept. This is possible. And we all are, you are right now on the right path to living from that space. You don't have to wait until tomorrow. You don't have to wait until you get your perfect career. You don't have to wait until you saved up a certain amount of money or get a relationship. You are already here. Simply allowing yourself to connect with that part of you that is your essence. That is your nature, your basic nature, kind, compassionate, and fulfilled. Through the experience of what there is, and if you consider your current experience unpleasant, ask yourself, what is really unpleasant about it? And use it as the gateway to access your awareness. Remember, this is a process and it may take time, but you will get there as long as you keep that simple intention in mind to connect with your essence. This is a wonderful opportunity, as so many of us are connected through this meditation. We are indeed creating a collective field of awareness through which the entrance and connection with essence is much easier as opposed when you meditate together. So recognize the importance of all the fellow meditators that you are here, helping you to get there, helping you to be more of yourself, helping you to dismantle those social egoistic structures that are holding you down and keeping you from experiencing the essence. As we continue, you may experience a bit of fluidity, softness. The thoughts are less frequent. Your body is soft and relaxed. And you're gently and slowly descending. Know that I'm always here for you, to hold the space in which you feel yourself. You are loved and you are enough. There's nothing that needs to be done. What you may notice as you go along is that the awareness drifts, comes to the surface and then descends a bit and comes to the surface and descends. And this is an absolutely normal process in searching for essence, in connecting with essence. The gentler you are, the kinder you are, the less judgment you put, the faster is the process. Knowing yourself is essential here. Accepting who you are is essential here. This is not about forcing yourself into obedience. This is about acknowledging who you are along the way and seeing all the structures as you continue. Thoughts, emotions, the result of our upbringing, the result of the past events, emotional states. It's all there. It's all part of you. None of it less important than the other. All of those experiences, all of those states are a gateway towards experiencing the essence. So I invite you to use them as such. embrace the current experience. Understand that it is okay to feel whichever way you feel. It is okay to have thoughts coming your way. When you touch upon the essence, you do not stop experiencing emotions nor having thoughts. You simply take a different vantage point to observe them and be with them. So experiencing emotions, thoughts, sensations can be an enjoyable experience. There's no need to run away from them. There's no need to resist them. Open yourself to the experience, allowing it more and more. There is no magic trick to life. Feel the expansion, feel the contraction. Each breath, with each moment, allowing yourself more and more, embracing the experience more and more. We all, as we hear, we holding our collective pains, our collective suffering. We are in this together, helping one another. And now it's time to return. Understand your experience. Make a mental mark of what you experienced, without trying to clinging to it. Whatever you experience is yours, and it brought you closer to living fulfilled and happy life. It's always meant to be a process. It's never meant to be a quick fix. Whatever you experienced, you made an important step towards reconnecting with your true self. And right now, I'll invite you to pat yourself on the shoulder. Give yourself a hug, if you will, with gratitude, with love, with kindness. And also recognize the presence of all of us here. Every single individual that contributed in a unique way to this intention, paving the road towards essence, raising collective consciousness, and also raising consciousness on a personal level. So right now, start reconnecting with your senses. Start noticing the boundaries of your physical body through your skin, the sense of touch, feet on the floor, hands in your lap, your sit bones on a chair. Feeling the boundary of your physical body. Recognizing the sounds, recognizing the temperature of the air, and finally adding some gentle physical movement, starting with your toes, gentle wiggle, your fingers. Tilt your head slowly and gently to the left. Tilt your head to the right. Feeling the muscles in your neck stretching and flexing. Bring your head back to the center. And all together, let us take one more deep cleansing breath in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for meditating with me. Thank you so much for your presence. How did it feel? May I ask you for your experiences? Perhaps someone can share how it was for you. How did you experience this meditation? Maybe to encourage you, I always ask you, but maybe I'm going to share my experience first to encourage you to share your experiences. As a guide, there's always the intellectual part that speaks the words, but also there's a flow in it that helps me to connect with the essence. And I believe that my words very often flow from the essence. Since there are fewer and all those stops that normally come in my speech. In meditation, that doesn't happen. So I did indeed feel the softness that you facilitated and your presence facilitated. So thank you for that. And this is one of the qualities of the essence, is the softness and tenderness, and I thank you for that. Ochoa says serene. Hope says experience state of calm. Iris is relaxed. Certainly, essence is experienced in a relaxed state. It might be alert state, but it's always relaxed and clear. Claudie says, my hands become very warm. Wonderful. Susa said, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Did connect with my higher self as well as a source of connection with all. Beautiful. Pam says, I feel a state of peace and relaxation. Mel says, thank you, I become much more aware of the, I'm sorry, I'm just going to read it, this is important. More aware of my pain in my body without resistance. That's wonderful. That's amazing. That's exactly what this is for. And if you have heard about MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, that comes from the research on people with chronic pain, that they can actually experience pain without resistance. Frank, hello Frank, and thank you. Soothing quality of essence today. Beautiful. I really apologize if I'm not able to respond to all the comments that are flowing. There are quite a few of them, and I appreciate them all. If you have any other, maybe to wrap up, if you want to meditate more on the essence, I have on Insight Timer meditations, connecting with your true self, and I think that is the one that helps you. Pretty much every single one takes you there, but this one specifically designed and for that purpose, connecting with your true self, the title of the meditation. Now some of the housekeeping to wrap it up, something that I frequently forget to mention to you for your benefit. So if you wish to meditate with me on a regular basis, please follow me on Insight Timer. This is the easiest way to do. And also now there is a bell icon that you have to click to receive all the notifications if you wish to know about my future events, about my courses, about my meditations, about my live meditations. Now also I created something that you might be interested in to continue this conversation. I created my own circle. It's called Tomek's Circle. I'm going to type it in the comment section. It's as simple as that. So feel free to join that. Tomek's Circle. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. And feel free to join this group, and we can continue the conversation. You can continue asking the questions and sharing your experiences. And this is bring the sense of community to us, which allows us to have those experiences more frequently, more often, and live more from the essence. Also, I recorded the sessions and will put it on my YouTube channel, where you can re-watch it or re-listen at your convenience. It's my YouTube channel is called Tomek Guided Meditations. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for your presence, for all your kindness and all your donations that I saw you made. That will help me to continue my work. But most importantly, I really enjoyed this session. It's my personal experience. I almost do it for selfish reasons. I just want to be here with you and meditate with you. And that meditation, quality of this meditation is very different. It's certainly helped me to connect with the essence on my own. So thank you very much for that. And for those of you who are starting your day like myself, I wish you a wonderful day. For those of you who enjoy your evening, have a pleasant night. And to all of you, I look forward to meditating with you soon and connecting on Insight Timer. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.